Growing up, I had flat feet. And so I would go to the doctor and then they would make these arch supports that basically are a mold of your flat foot. And then you walk on them, right? And these arch supports were supposed to correct my arches. Well, all they did is make me dependent on the arches, which I eventually got rid of when I was 19 years old because I felt so much better when I didn't wear my corrective arches. Now, if your eyes are bad, you go see the eye doctor and you get corrective lenses, right? That basically never correct your eyes. Or if you have sleep apnea, you can go get this machine and you can actually put this mask on and it'll give you a constant air supply so you can sleep better, right? Is that going to correct anything? No, it's a way of coping with the situation. Or if you have high blood pressure, you can go to the doctor and they have a medication for that. Does that ever correct anything? No, it manages the symptoms, right? And that's pretty much what healthcare is nowadays. It's not correcting anything, it's managing your symptoms. And that's why I do all these videos, to help you understand things to do to correct the problem so you're not dependent on something. And that leads us to today's topic, the benefits of walking barefoot. In your foot, you have 26 bones. You have 33 joints and 19 different muscles. It's a very highly complex part of your body that allows you to move, and it supports your entire body weight. So if you weigh 200, 250, or 300 or 350 pounds, it's a lot of weight on these little feet. Now, a very big problem is these darn shoes that you have to wear, okay? Here's the problem with shoes. They're very, very unnatural. They compress your toes. I mean, some people actually buy shoes that are pointed. So they're trying to put these toes into this space that just doesn't fit the toes. Naturally, the toes should be wider, okay? So when you're constantly compressing these toes, then that creates a lot of problems with your gait, with your balance, with your muscles in your calves and your feet, and that translates up to the knees. So wearing shoes actually increases the risk of getting knee pain and low back pain just because of the altered dynamics of your foot. First of all, we're raising the foot above the ground, so we're losing communication with the ground, making things very unstable. And so the bottom of your foot is really communicating with the ground through a via, right? Through like a sponge cushion. And if you wear a high heel, that's even worse. I bought some dress shoes that were $300 when I was in practice, and they were the most uncomfortable shoe that I ever wore, but I didn't want to get rid of them because they cost so much. But I remember coming home at the end of the day, my feet were killing me. They were so uncomfortable. So since you spend the majority of the day in shoes, it's very important to get shoes that are very comfortable. The shoes that I'm going to recommend are those shoes that fit in the category of the barefoot footwear. So I bought a series of shoes that are closer to the ground, that provide more space for my toes. They're wider, okay, and they're much more comfortable, and they force the foot to work harder. But that's a very good thing because it creates more stability. So wearing the wrong type of shoes in general cause the reduction of range of motion. They increase the temperature of your feet. You basically cook your feet in this small space. They create knee adduction. That means the knees tend to go inward, and that can throw off the dynamics of the knee, increasing the risk of knee pain. I already mentioned the low back pain. Your Achilles tendon becomes more stiff. That's that tendon in the back part of the lower ankle, and that's going to affect your ability to move and play sports. It's going to reduce your circulation, and it can even shorten the calf length, okay, and create atrophy of your muscles in your calf if you wear high heels. There's one study done that shows that if your heel is greater than 5 centimeters and you wear this high heel for over 2 years, there's significant reduction in your size of your calf muscles and the strength of your calf muscles. So the longer you wear these type of shoes, you lose the strength of your foundation, which can affect the rest of the body because, as you know, the ankle bone's connected to the knee bone, which is connected to the hip bone, et cetera, et cetera. All right, now there's 2 things I'm going to recommend. First of all, start looking for a shoe that has less of a heel, that's closer to the ground, and that provides more space on your toes so you can have more stability. Okay, that's number one. Number two, start walking barefoot on the grass and the sand. This is a very therapeutic exercise that at first your feet are going to get tired, but then the feet are going to get stronger, and you're going to find that there's much less stress on your joints. So let's go right into the benefits of walking barefoot. Number one, your toes finally have a chance to spread out. Okay, just from that alone, that can prevent these toes that become malaligned and create all sorts of issues with your gait. Number two, more communication with the ground is better. And so the mechanical receptors, the receptors in the bottom of your foot, if they're in direct communication with the grass or the sand or whatever surface, that information is going to be picked up and sent through the body to your brain, and you're going to be way more stable. You're going to actually be very surprised on how the rest of your body is going to feel once your foundation is really connected to the ground. So you'll find a decreased load on your joints, more range of motion, and more stability and balance. Now, if you have not watched my video on plantar fasciitis, that would be a really good next video to watch. Check it out.